How hard is it supposed to be to travel almost 650 kilometers in one day in the small battery Mach-E? I was actually planning on using the orange units, which are 50 kilowatt on the flow charger. They're e-charge over here. But at this Irving big stop in Aulac, they have the newer 180 kilowatt units. So we are gonna have a charge on the ABBs. I was actually planning on using these later on, closer to Halifax, but let's have a whirl. All right. This first segment of the trip has been 122 kilometers. It's been an hour 40 minutes. Efficiency 21 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. I left at about 2 a.m. or so, so it's 3:20 a.m. now. That being said, current battery percentage, we left at 78% and it's 39. I've logged in on the app. Just gotta disconnect the charger. The hardest part with one hand is muscling this in, so I will put the camera down. Now that it's been connected, boom, charging has started. Or I hit confirm here, follow instructions on the payment terminal. Quick swipe on the app. It starts up. And charging has initiated. So connect to the car, swipe on the app, charging will initiate. And on the app it's 45 cents versus using tap to charge is 50 cents per kilowatt hour. Even though it's a 180 kilowatt unit, at this car I've found even during this time where it's about 5 degrees, it's colder than usual. But we're gonna go ahead and check the charging speed again for the next 10 minutes or so, and I expect it's gonna be nowhere more than 60 kilowatts, which would mean it would have made just as much sense, or potentially, to pay. Actually, I'm paying about the same per kilowatt hour. These are 30 cents per kilowatt hour versus over there I'm paying 45 cents per kilowatt hour for a slight boost in speed. So 30 cents per kilowatt hour if I came to the 50 kilowatt chargers. Over there at the 180 kilowatt chargers, I am paying closer to 45 cents per kilowatt. Expected, it's actually going to be more because the car is not pulling at the full 180 kilowatts. Therefore, cost per mile, it does sort of make sense to stick with the 50 kilowatts as I was planning to do. This is a trip where I left with 80%. I actually intended on leaving with 100. Scheduling, I was supposed to leave at 3, had to leave at 1. So the car was at 80%. It just means leaning on the DC fast charging network. But this Aulac station, I don't know if it's been covered. We've got the 180 kilowatt units here. We've got the 50 kilowatt units in the back. And there's a row of Tesla chargers as well. I'm sure the Tesla chargers know all about it, Tesla drivers. But if you don't drive a Tesla and you still have a CCS connector and you're worried about that, just like is happening in Quebec, I believe, next to the legacy chargers, they're putting the faster chargers. Depending on your travel style or what you're after, there would be no problem still plugging into the 150s. I initially planned on plugging into the 150s, and if I check this charge speed again on the car, look, 70 kilowatts, 67 kilowatts. That's what it's drawing. If the car is only going to draw 67 kilowatts, I might as well be at a 50 kilowatt charger and getting what's that, close to a 30% cheaper price for the same electricity. Yeah, what are your thoughts? Quick scan. Now let's find the chargers. Where are the chargers? Oh, when you get all the way to the top, there you go. Pick a charger, any charger. All right, signed in. The level 2 cords are a lot easier to manage than DC fast charging cords. Plug in, I heard a click, blue light means charging. And we can see we are pulling 7 kilowatts. So at 7 kilowatts, this car will be fully charged within 8 hours. All right. Halfway through the road trip, I actually have to turn around and go back home. The car has been charging for about 4 hours since I got here, and I've onboarded about 25 kilowatt hours of energy in that time at around 6 kilowatts. What that means is my battery is now closer to 44% instead of the 12% that I rolled up in with, and I'm returning back to Charlottetown damn near immediately instead of being at a full charge. This is not how you road trip. You're supposed to fully charge. I did not. I had to leave Charlottetown at 80%, and now I'm headed back before a full charge. What it does mean is that so far, that the trip cost has been equal to a hybrid. With this free charge, I'm going to see if I can get back to Charlottetown with it being cheaper than a hybrid. The big difference is this is the worst case scenario road trip. It's a way different story when I'm using the Mach-E every day as my daily driver. Interesting. There's a Tesla at the Irving charger. It must be cheaper to charge over here than at the supercharging station. Interesting. Degrees compared to the 0 or 1 degree Celsius it was when we were coming to Halifax this morning, and we are at 41% in the pack, so I wasn't actually expecting it to still be charging over 100. It's going up about 104 kilowatts, which is pretty good. That's a pretty good performance. I will see how long it takes before it drops to 75 kilowatts. I assume that's going to be somewhere around when the battery is at 60%. And then, yeah, I'll plug it at 80 and I will charge at another charger on the way home. Currently, that means on this quick turnaround, I did have a half an hour, 20 minute to half an hour penalty on the way going. So far, it's looking like I'm going to have a 1 hour charging penalty on the way back home. Here we are at 45% and the battery is still charging up at 95 kilowatts or so. It's bouncing, still going up to 100 sometimes, but now that we're approaching 50%, I think it's going to taper it down to, it's showing 95 now. I'll see when it hits its 75 kilowatt, that might be 65%. While we're at the charger, what I've done is remove the automatic charging stops, and that is showing me the deficit before getting to my destination. Therefore, if I take this 40% and I add it to this 50%, I would need around 90% of the battery enabled to be ordered to get home from here. I want to unplug around 70-75%, and then I'll stop at the other the other Irving EV charger. We're going to add this charger, add stop, done. It's telling us to remain here for what looks like 40 minutes. Is add a stop, and we are going to add Based on where I am now, to get to the next charger, I still need 10 more percent, which will pretty much be 80%. And once I get close to 80, I'll have enough charge to get to the other Irving charger. Ooh, look at that update. Hey. Wicked. I think that means I can leave and continue to ride the curve at the other charger, since the charging rate here has fallen to 60 or 70. I don't know if we can pick that up on the screen, but it's now saying 70 kilowatt instead of the 90 or 100 it was pulling earlier. And given that I can make it to the other charger, I'm just going to go ahead and probably leave now. I'll charge there. All right, let's hit this. I'm connected to the charger and I have my destination set, negative 15%. So I need to add another 15%. I can leave here with some buffer by the time I'm at 40%. And check that out. Now that the car is at 40%, I'm pretty much there, positive 40% on the screen, updated, and I can get home with a little bit of a buffer. That's not quite enough of a buffer, so we're going to go up to about 45 or 50%. But so far, it has been charging for, since 1:20, we've been charging for 10 minutes, and we can get up and get out of here. So after another 15-minute charge, I'll be able to go home. So there, I'm at 43%. It'll be at 45% in a second, and I can unplug and go home. Between the 20-minute charge at the first Irving charger and this other 15-20-minute charge, each way to Halifax costs me an extra half an hour to 40 minutes, even if I don't have the car 100% charged when I begin that journey. That's pretty good performance. Very good car.